professionalism. Exemplar, 4090 mandatory reporting. Key terms. Mandatory reporting, legal requirement to report act, event, or situation designated by state or local law as reportable. Examples of this would be elder abuse, child abuse. Good faith immunity. Protection from civil or criminal liabilities when healthcare staff report child abuse, but later on, child abuse is not found. Can also include reports of elder mistreatment, particular illnesses or injuries, and crimes involving minors. Protects nurses from if they think someone is being abused and they report it. It protects them against criminal liabilities if it is found that there was no abuse. So if in your gut you think this child has bruises all over them acting kind of funny, I think there's something going on under the good faith immunity. You can report it and you'll be protected from criminal liabilities if it's found out that the child is just really clumsy or a very active child that falls a lot. Nurses' role in mandatory reporting. In most states, nurses are required to report abuse or suspected abuse, certain types of injuries and illness. Certain injuries would be like gunshot wounds. Certain illnesses could be like hepatitis and tuberculosis. Crimes involving minors. Nurses have a legal obligation to report conduct that is incompetent, unethical, and illegal. Let's say you're working next to a nurse that seems to be intoxicated. They are most likely incompetent at that moment, and it's unethical to show up to your job drunk. So this would need to be reported, or you yourself could also become liable. Report through administrative chain of organization. Mandatory reporting of nurses who are in violation of the Nurse Practice Act. Each state's Nurse Practice Act includes requirements for reporting nurses who are in violation of the act. Report goes to the Board of Nursing. If you see a nurse working outside their scope of practice, then that would need to be reported and to your supervisor, and that report could go to the Board of Nursing depending on how severe it is. Mandatory reporting of certain injuries and illnesses. Examples of conditions that must be reported. Injuries from a gun or firearm. Illnesses caused by poisoning. Illnesses caused by poisoning. Knife or sharp, pointed instrument. Wound, injury, or illness caused by criminal act or violence. Certain infectious diseases, such as tuberculosis, HIV/AIDS, COVID-19, and hepatitis A. A lot of times these things are found in the emergency room, so there are systems set up for reporting in the emergency room. If you're on a med surg floor and let's say you know someone had a needle stick and then it turned out that person had HIV and it had to be reported, I would start with your manager to see what the policy and procedure is for it. If it has to do with elder abuse or neglect or child abuse or neglect, you can start with your manager or supervisor, and then a lot of times social workers can get involved and help you with the paperwork.